live on ARCS Racing Network. It's the ARCS playoffs. We're about to go live very shortly, fans, and give you some really good action. 8 drivers are going to start this race. One of them has the opportunity at the mid-season, or at the midpoint of our year, and at the end, of course, of the TNT season. We saw Marshmallow. He won the whole thing, but tonight, A Squared versus TNT. The top 4 from A Squared are going to battle out against the top 4 from TNT, and they are going to battle to see who is the best. This is not a team race. This is one man for himself. Who is going to be the champion? A lot of strong contenders in this race. Of course, we're gonna see Crotum tonight. He is going to be in the field. Ballsy Geo in the field. COT Tommy, E-Dog, Lurkin Tom Gaming, Seth Dub 9, Twisted Navy, all going to be in the field tonight. And so looking forward to this race. We are going to go green very, very shortly. Stay tuned. Getting ready to start this race. We have an exclusive interview with it's Crotum. Crotum, you got to be the odds-on favorite to win this race. We was looking forward to seeing Marshmallow in the field. Unfortunately for him, he's not going to make the race, and so we think you probably got what it takes. But there's going to be some really strong competitors. What do you think for your chances tonight?
Iowa's a weird track. Tire wear matters. Fuel. I don't think it will matter as much as people anticipate. But with Marsh being out, it's a huge relief for most people, as you probably imagine, dudes in and him being out this week, we'll be able, as a whole, people in works will be able to have a chance to win, really, because usually when he racing, he's got like a 50% win rate. So when he races, he's going to win almost every time.
Well, looking forward to seeing that. The race is about to start. We are going to send you back down to the field, and we are going to get ready for the start of this race. You can see the loading screen already getting ready. Stitch, I want to make sure that we can hear you in the chat. I got Alex Zimkowski with me in the booth. How you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm kind of wondering what I signed up for tonight here. This isn't my cup of tea normally, but I'm excited to watch some good racing and get to chat with you and some of the drivers throughout the race and see what's going on.
Well, I want to make sure, though, that you can hear yourself and that the fans can hear you, Stitch. So if you can get a double check on that to make sure that you can be heard. I don't use all this technology so often. Usually I got somebody that's doing it with us, but we're going to go green. You can see it on your screen. The 20 of Crotum is out to a really good start. The 9 car on the outside. The 19 is going to be on the bottom, so he's going to have that preferred advantage just for the start of this race. That 9 car looking a little wobbly, maybe a little bit of lag from the 9 early in this race, but you can see Stitch, they're already starting to fan out.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing about this track is, like you were telling me, I'm an IndyCar guy. For anyone that doesn't know, IndyCar has raced there, and even there, it's still a 2-3 lane. If you get a little ballsy, you can go that third lane. I know with these cars it's a little bit different. And I mean, at this point, you wanna fan out, and you wanna be at the front. You just wanna keep that line, try to stay clean, and just hope no cautions happen and rebunch the field up.
The 20 of Crotum already out to a really nice start. You're following along with the 9, running for second place. You see the 22 back there running in third. That's Boss E Geo, definitely somebody who is a favorite to win this championship as well. The 9 of Septub still probably experiencing a little bit of lag. The 22 takes the bottom. The 9's going to take the outside. Should give the 9 a really good run off, Alex.
Yeah, absolutely. You see here, actually, I'm delayed because I need you to share your screen on Discord.
Oh, I'm so sorry about that, buddy. We're going to get you set up here.
It's only like 2 seconds different.
All right, we'll try to get my partner back in here. Still the 20 way out to a nice lead. We're going to run stages here at Iowa, and so it's going to be important that you got that short run speed, especially with these very short 25% races. The 22 of Boss E Geo still in second place, elected to run that bottom line, trying to gain some ground on the 9, the 88 of E-Dog, running back there in fourth, trying to take that spot from the 9 of Septub, unsuccessful. We're following along now with the 22 still. There's that 88 of E-Dog in fourth place, and he's got to try to get around the 9 car. Usually I'd say the top line is the best, but right now the 9 is really lagging. He might just be deciding to try to stay where the 9 car isn't. From the view, you see the gap between the 20 and that 22. The 9 still having major network issues in the first part of this race. The 2 of COT Tommy looks to make a pass on the 88 for fourth. He's going to be able to get around him for now. The 88's going to get that really nice run, though, Alex, on the outside. Look at that run the 88 gets on the 2.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, running that mid-line, top line, you can get a good corner exit. I mean, it doesn't matter what track you're at. That's going to happen all the time. If you dive in low, you're going to have to let up so you don't take him out up top. And E-Dog here is doing a great job in that midline.
Great racing that we're seeing so far in this race. Unfortunately, right now, it's kind of a battle for second at best. We see the 20 way out there looking at towards the back. The 18 of Twisted Navy not out to a great start for him. He's going to have to try to maybe use some strategy or try to figure out a line here, Alex, if he's going to expect to get back into this race.
Yeah, I mean, he could try to be conservative in tires or something here, but with these short races, you kind of got to go from the get-go and try to at least be in the pack.
Back to the leader, you see the gap that he has built on the 22 of Boss E Geo. Boss definitely one of those guys that can stay out. It seems like longer than everybody else. Definitely willing to take 2. And from my experience, from way back in the day, I always used to call Boss the king of the 25%. In A Squared and in TNT, we don't normally see ourselves in those types of positions. Most of our races are much longer. This being a shortened race, how does that benefit some of these guys who are willing to take that crazy strategy?
Well, I mean, absolutely. I mean, on a shorter race, you can push right from the get-go harder than you would on a long stint. You know, you got to have that mindset of, hey, we got to go now. The race is only so long. You know, it's not a 50% or whatever. So, you know, you're not really worried too much on stint strategy. You need to just have track position, really. And you never know when, you know, a caution comes out or anything like that. You know, you want that track position at the end of the day with a shorter race.
See the battle here for third place. The 9 car still having some really bad network issues. The 19 has lost some ground here. Started up, I believe, in second place and is now back to fifth. The 9 car you see it now, all the way up against the wall. The 88 and the 19 have definitely got to be trying to get to him and pass him, but trying to do it with care, because when you have those types of lags, you never know what that's going to do to affect your car.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I've had it happen to me multiple times on other platforms, and even on other Xbox games. It never feels good when that happens.
The 88 and the 19 will continue to negotiate that lag. We will catch up with our second place contender, Boss E Geo, still running that bottom line. I'm not quite sure that bottom line is going to work for him the way that he wants it to. The 20 maybe getting a little bit loose. Want to try to check that gap. It looks like the caution has come out. That might be the end of stage 1. Like I said, Alex, these races are going to be really quick, and they're definitely coming with it tonight.
Oh, absolutely. And yeah, I mean, out of the gate, like I said, you got to go. And I mean, this being a shorter oval, you have what you've got now. Second race of the night, that's going to be a little bit more interesting, I think, being a road course. But we'll get there when we get there.
Green flag is out. The 22 of Ballsy Geo going to take the inside and lead him to that stripe. The 20 going to be on the outside. He's going to try to have the best light he can. The 9 lags into the 18. That's going to be bad news for that 9 of Seth Dub. Not quite sure if the race control is going to do something about that or not, but that's a big issue for the 9.
Yeah, he's been having those issues all night.
Yeah, the 22 going to be on the outside, the 20 on the bottom, the 19 makes a move on the inside of the 22 of Boss EGO, but the 22 of Boss going to have that run on the 20. Not going to be as easy as it was in the first stage for the 20 of Crotum. He's got the 19 and the 22 hot on his heels. Now a two-wide battle, the 19 on the outside, 22 on the bottom. Not much draft is going to do for these guys with the 22 with that really good slide job up onto the 19. That's kind of how you got to run it, Alex. If you're going to run the bottom, you've got to be kind of dependent on the slide job to get up there and cut off that run on the outside.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, honestly, if you're entering the corner low, if you've got the speed and the guy behind you isn't right on you, you need to slide up, get up to the wall, keep that momentum. If you try to hug that bottom, you're going to screw up so much speed that midline is going to keep that momentum going, and it's just going to help them get, further up to you.
The 2 of COT Tommy, we see a little bit off the pace for that driver. You see as well as the 88 of E-Dog and the 18 of Twisted. The 2 had a really good spot in the top 3 or so, and kind of lost that momentum now in this second stage. He's going to need to make up some time.
Yeah, and again, like I said earlier, it's just you got to go from the get-go. So I can't say that I would think he was saving for something.
Downton Gaming in the chat says you are using the wrong championship overlay. Trying to figure that out there. I want to make sure that might be better. We shall see. The 20 now facing big issues with the 22. The 22 had a really nice run there and got back to the back bumper of the 20. He's going to try to make a pass for the lead here, Alex.
Yeah, I mean, it's go time. You want that track position here to get to the end of the stage.
No points for these stage ends. Just a way to kind of keep the race together. Only 8 drivers in this field, but these are the best of the best. Like we said at the beginning, it is the top 4 from TNT, the top 4 from A Squared in points. TNT didn't run any playoffs this year. A Squared cut their season in half. They raced the full NASCAR schedule, and so we took the top 4 from the first half of the season for A Squared, the top 4 in points from the championship, and we brought them in here, and they're running their hearts out right here. The 20 still in the lead. We've seen the 20, Alex, be dominant all season long. This dude can win at any track there is. Definitely one of those guys that we look to try to beat in TNT. And he comes from the TNT stable, finished second, I believe, in the points behind Marshmaro. But the 20 definitely, like we said earlier, the odds-on favorite to win this thing. The 22 of Bossy Gio, an A Squared driver from that stable. He's looking to try to make a challenge.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, obviously, you know that I'm not much of a Heat guy, but I follow Discord and I know all these guys. And I mean, these 2 guys up front are the 2 names that pop up the most in Heat, absolutely, in the Discord. So it's really fun to see these guys battle in here.
Absolutely. These 2 battling up front. We see back in the distance the 19 of Lurkin Tom Gaming. Definitely a driver that we look out for. Likes to run those tight setups. And so Lurkin is good for his name. That dude will lurk right up on you. He knows how to plan a car for the long run. And it looks like so far, these guys have been running all these laps. We haven't seen any cautions. We see a pass right now, or an attempt. The 22 and the 20 battling it out. The 22 has stayed on the bottom pretty much the whole race, so he's very comfortable with this line, Alex.
And there he goes. And, you know, and that's what I was saying, like we talked about earlier with the slide job. You run that low line, you need to hope that it sticks there. But as we see now, Crotom's going to come back, and we're going to see what we're going to get in turn 1 here. And you know what? Honestly, yeah, you kind of have to wonder, was that a setup to see for the end of the race what he could do just sitting in the draft and waiting for that last right moment to make that move and hopes that he can duplicate it at the end of this race?
Iowa definitely a short track, but it runs kind of like a mile and a half. And so you kind of see these drivers being able to pick and choose their lines, get a feel for the track and where their car is at. We are going to restart for the 3rd stage of our first race tonight. The 22 of Bossy Gio gets a bad start. The 19 going to dip underneath, and it makes the 22 3 wide. That's going to give the 20 the early advantage here. We saw that in stage 1, and it could be telltale, but the 19 of Lurkin Tom Gaming has some decently clean air. We see a big wreck, the 2 and the 18 involved.
Yeah, and I was just about to say there was Lurkin, just doing what you said, Lurkin in that background, and look where we're at when the stage starts. With a bad restart, and he's right there.
Caution will not come out at the moment. We will check definitely at the line. The 19 now underneath the 20 for the lead. He's using that bottom line and using it well. We see it here from the viewpoint of the 20. The 20 gets a really nice run, gets into the 19 of Lurkin. Lurkin stays side by side, Alex.
This is great racing right here. I think Lurkin might be smart here, as we see Seth in the back there with his lagging issues.
Definitely still network issues for the 9. But the 20, he won that battle. The 19 is going to have to regroup and try to win this war. Just a few laps remaining for these drivers. Like we said, it's the final stage.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if I'm lurking and now we see Seth is starting to pop in there too, you almost want to just follow Crotom's line, do what he's doing, try to get it, keep that lap time up, and but with these two battling behind them, it's not gonna help that gap close. Oh, and then we got a touch. Oh,
that's gonna be another set of wrecks. We'll see if that will bring out a caution. We see the 19 way off. 20 still being scored as the leader here. He crosses the line. He is going.
Looks like we have the regroup here for the caution.
We will see if they open pit road this time. Stitch, I expect them all to come down pit road. Not really sure there's any advantage to not taking tires here.
Especially here with the grooves you can run, and you saw, I mean, any track like this, any shorter oval, a mile and a half, even whatever, fresh tires are key. You can hold any line. Even on fresh tires, you can hold that low line for a lap or two and keep your speed and momentum up. Once the tires start wearing, obviously you're going to drift up the track a little bit. So if you stay out, I think you might just be a sitting duck at that point.
We're going to take a quick break as these drivers come down and get adjustments. We will be right back. Back live from Iowa, it's the ARCS Playoffs Race 1. You will see Race 2 immediately following this one. The 20 of Crotom has led a lot of laps. We saw the 22 just barely win stage 2, but now he's going to be mired back behind the 18. The 20 gets a really nice jump, as you would expect. The 18 and the 88 now battle for second side by side. Alex, the 20, he's getting a lot of help from these really good restarts he's having.
Yeah, he's getting a good jump, and then everybody else back behind him is battling for position, so that just helps him even more. I kind of feel bad for Boss there, but as you see, he's running that low line, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him back in second place and trying to chase Crotom down.
The 88 of E-Dog now going to look to take his shot. He is in his highest position tonight, running in second. Just the 20 to try to be, but you gotta chase him down, and you gotta make sure that you don't sacrifice any position here, because the 19 of Lurkin Tom Gaming is lurking right there behind. He's cleared the 22 and the 18. They continue to battle it out for fourth place, Alex.
Yeah, and this is good racing right here, and you see both guys are trying to stick to that mid line.
The 88 of E-Dog, the only driver in the field tonight without a win in their primary decisions. All Tier 1 drivers got an opportunity to declare primary points in either TNT, Thursday Night Thunder, or A Squared. The 88, one of those drivers that elected to run A Squared and is yet to win a race in the series. Yet, with those really consistent finishes, Alex, he is going to be in this field now running second with a good shot to win this. The 20 likes to run those really loose setups. He is definitely one of those cars that sets up for that short run.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Loose is fast, absolutely, but it also could mean one minor mistake costs you a couple of seconds even. I mean, who knows? Anything can happen on a loose car. And he's just the idiot's just sitting there in second, just kind of chilling. He's just kind of lurking back there, and it's not lurking.
Following along with the 18 of Twisted Navy, we see that he's the only driver in the field that almost did not make the field. A scheduling conflict made him unable to run the last race, I believe. The 18 able to get in because Marshmallow was unable to race tonight. And so definitely one of those drivers that we look out for. Not one of the drivers that I want to be behind. Really super fast, and good for him to be in this field tonight. Otherwise, the 20 car, Alex, he's on rails tonight, as he usually is. The 20 car dominating another race.
Yeah, he is just gone from these guys here. I mean, it's literally it's his race to lose at this point. He's dominated the whole night.
The 9 of Seth Dub gets in this race from a couple of wins that he was able to have an A Squared driver making his way into the top 4. The 9 car, definitely a car that I don't like to be behind. Maybe for another reason, the 9 having another network issue tonight, and that's got to be unfortunate. And honestly, though, the way these things are, and these guys don't seem to be too concerned about the 9's lag, so it's quite possible that it's just maybe a connection between me and him, and we're seeing a bunch of lag. NASCAR Heat 5 is its own little character, Alex.
Yeah, and I mean, anyone that does any racing knows, you can see one thing happen and somebody else doesn't see it at all. So who knows? These guys might just be racing and have no issues, and we might just be seeing Seth pulling the dirt track racing on our side only.
22 of Ballsy Gio making a move, trying to use that long run setup that I assure you he has in to try to get around the 88. Alex, I traditionally like the top line, but the 22 seems to be able to run that bottom line a lot better than most drivers can. The 88 tried to stay way up against the wall. It just kind of shows you how many different lines you can run at this track and still be fast.
Yeah, and like I said at the start of the broadcast, me being an IndyCar guy, I've raced other platforms at this track, and I know even in there, it's got to be similar as far as the tire bag. On fresh tires, you can hold that bottom line, stay fast, but as it goes on, you almost want to enter kind of mid-low and arc through the turn, if you will, up to the wall on exit, and keep doing that round and round and round. And if you've got no one next to you, you can keep doing that. That's really the fastest way around the track.
Folks, you are seeing the ARCS of playoffs live. It's not really much of a playoffs as you might think. There will be no eliminations tonight. All 8 drivers will run all 4 races. The most points at the end of these races are going to be the champion. We did run stages in this race. Just a thing to kind of make sure that we get some cautions. Obviously, these drivers, for the most part, running a super clean race, and with a small field, you want to make sure that you keep these drivers together, and somewhat looks like the 20. A lot of these drivers needed those stage breaks, because if not, the 20 was going to set sail, Alex.
Oh, absolutely. And again, he's dominated this whole night. And, I mean, you can't complain with that. He's got the track down. He knows what he's doing. And you just see the gap. It's insane.
Gap continues to be insane. We wait to see if these drivers are going to need to pit. They're going to cross the line here with 9 laps remaining in this race. Per ARC's rules, the last 5 laps, we will not see a caution. The cautions will be turned off. And so the 20 just needs about 4 laps, and then all he's got to do is make sure that he doesn't make a mistake. But that can kind of play games on you, Alex. You've been in these positions. You've been leading like this, and you've ended up winning those races sometimes, and sometimes you lose those races. What does the 20 need to make sure that he does to make sure that he does win this race? He doesn't make a mistake with such a big lead.
I mean, honestly, you just got to stay calm. I mean, like you said, we've all done it. I know I've definitely done it multiple times, and you start seeing 5 to go, 4 to go, 3 to go. You could have a huge gap, and the next thing you know, you overthink a turn, you overthink something, and you lose momentum. You get into the wall, you scrub speed, and now all of a sudden that gap is cut in half, and now you start questioning, can I do this? And the next thing you know, something else happens, and he's right there, and you don't want that to happen.
You see Bossy Gio now running in that second place position. There's quite a gap back there. We'll check on that battle for third place there between, I believe it was the 88 and the 19. There it is, the 9 and the 19. I believe that is your battle for third place. And this is important because this is a points battle at the very end of it, Alex. Like, you can win one race, but you can also finish last in all the rest, and that could be a problem. And so it's important. Every position counts. The 19 definitely trying to get around the 9 before the end of this race.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, any type of points, you know, you never know. You want to be up front as much as you can. I mean, there's been times in history where guys have won the championship and haven't won a race. I mean, anything is possible. But you need to have good finishes, and you just need to be consistent. And these guys here, as we see a wreck between Seth and, was that Lurkin?
Seth and Lurkin. Now the 9 is around. A big lag spike from the 9. That's going to definitely change the outcome of this race. The 20 out to a really good lead. They're going to cross the line here with 3 laps remaining. Sorry, folks. Got to do a little bit of math with these servers. The 2 trying to make sure he doesn't get lapped is right in front of the 20. And so the 20 trying to get around him cleanly. The 22 has gained a little bit of ground there, Alex, on the 20. 2 laps to go when he hits the line. Or looks like 1 lap to go when he hits the line. And so this could be the end of it here.
Yeah, and you wonder if that gap was something to do with the lap traffic.
20 gonna win this race. That's race 1 in the books. We'll try to get you your top 10. Stay tuned, folks. We will take a quick break, and then we will be back for the next race. We're going to run Mid-Ohio. Maybe try to get you a few interviews. We're going to take